Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Star and our Kings. We're here, heavyweight Demsey McKean. What a fight card to be a part of. Yourself, Moses Itauma. This is a very interesting fight from the outside looking in. You've got the young pretender who's blasting through everyone, and you've someone there who's had a lot of experience, got some good wins on your record. You've mixed it in with world level fighters, shall we say?
Yep.
And I don't think nobody can honestly, hand on heart, say we know what to expect, and that's what makes it fun. Yourself coming in, how are you feeling approaching this fight?
Feeling good. It's been a long camp. It's been a good camp. I've had some good sparring. Everything's been good. The body's been good. Like, honestly, it's been a really good camp. Probably the best camp I've ever had. I know a lot of fighters always say that on fight week, but honestly, it's been a remarkable camp. I'm keen to get in there and showcase a new polished version of myself. I'm feeling good.
You say a new polished version of yourself. What are the things you've gone away and looked at and said, you know what, I need to tweak, I need to make changes? Everyone talks about the rounds and the things you did with Hrgovic, but what have you gone away and done and changed?
We've just worked on a new little game plan as well, where we're coming in with a good game plan. We're fighting nice and tall again, and you want to utilise some things. I don't want to give too much away, I know, and because I know his team do a lot of video research also. So
they do, I have to say, it's like a science project in that gym.
Yeah, literally. So just kind of keep it under wraps as best as possible. But I'm feeling good, and we obviously studied our last fight, and there's a couple of things we weren't too happy with, and we've adjusted and made right by those.
When you look at a guy like Moses, where there's the big hype behind, they announced he's just signed with Nike, I think a few fights will go, they're really pushing him. Do you think, well, you will do, it's a silly question, but is this a step too far, too soon?
Yeah, look, obviously he's got good skill sets, and they want to move him up, and I think he can beat a lot of the top guys also. He's definitely got the skill set to do so, and obviously they feel confident moving him up, and but I think we're just confident in what we bring in and the experience we can utilise on, and things we can capitalise on also.
Do you feel coming into this almost that the pressure's completely on him, I would say, because everyone's talking about him as the next one coming through. When you look at the cycle of heavyweights, we've got Tyson, Fury's, Chisora. I know Chisora probably fights till he's 100, but you look at this sort of rotating cycle. Obviously, yourself in which, but he's been given that big push. Do you look at this and say, you know what? You have this week. You have the pressure. You have the build-up. You have the talk. And we'll see when the lights come on fight night what happens. Is that a good feeling for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like, he's been overlooking me. He said so. He's said so himself many times, and also. But look, the pressure. He's going to be feeling the nerves and the pressure on fight week. Also, it's a big step up fight for him. He's 19 years old. There's a maturity factor there as well. Mature in the game. He's mature 19-year-old. Don't get me wrong, but mature in the game, in the big fights. And anyone having a top level fight doesn't overlook anyone. Which he said himself, he's been overlooking me, and needs to switch on now and whatnot. So looking forward to it. It's going to be something different for sure.
You mentioned there, he said that he's overlooking you. Do you find that disrespectful? Because you're not someone they've just brought in with no disrespect to maybe a journeyman. These people keep the sport alive and the great learning fights. But do you think it's a bit disrespectful when he's talking about looking over you? Because you know as well as anyone, one slip up in this division and it's snakes and ladders, you've got to get back up there. Is it a bit of disrespect?
Yeah, look, I don't mind. It falls in my favour. If he wants to overlook me, that's good. If he wants to think 2 fights ahead, that's even better for me. If he thinks he's going to blow me out of the water within a couple of rounds, that's even better for me, because once he's looking at me in the 3rd or 4th round, if it goes that far, then he's going to be having some self-doubt, isn't he? If he's gone through this whole camp thinking he's going to blow me out of the water within a few rounds, and I'm looking at him in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, what do you think that's going to do for his mental state?
You're all big punchers. Anyone over that weight limit, hits hard, doesn't matter who you are. We've not really seen him, his chin being tested yet. Is that part of the plan? You're hitting each other, but is it a thing to sort of establish that maybe early on and say, look, you're in a fight now, and then maybe take him down the stretch where he's unfamiliar and feels a bit out of his depths? Is that sort of where you look and go, look, I've been there before, let's see if you can handle it?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously I've got the experience, and that's probably going to fall in more in my favour. Don't get me wrong, he's probably prepping for a 10-round fight. Obviously he's prepping for a 10-round fight, but it's a different game sparring compared to fighting as well. It gets lonely in there, it gets dark in there, get tired in there. 19-year-olds, man, we all know how we used to think when we were 19. We all had a bit of self-doubt back then as well, so we all, it's we're going to see. We're just going to see.
What does a win do for you? We all talk about the next step. I know you won't be overlooking this, by the way, because we just mentioned there the importance of staying locked in and focused, but a win puts you right in there with some big names, big fights, big paydays, potentially on these kind of shows as well. How do you have that in your mind and go, this really does open every sort of door and get me right back in the mix?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we all kind of flirt with the idea of what's next and everything, but you know, all eyes on Moses come Saturday. But you know, take him out, take his number 6 world ranking, and you know, a good performance here. I'm going to get a return invitation on the Riyadh seasons. You know, good performance, look good doing so, and mate, the world's my oyster.
Do you stop him?
I stop him mid to late.
Right, last one, main event. Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury. We saw how the first fight went. Both had the successes. Many people thought the fight should have been stopped. Let's reverse it now. They've both gone away. They're coming back. I know you've got business to take care of, so you won't be bothered about anything else, or whatever happens, happens. But as a fan of the sport, what do you make of the main event and what happens?
Mate, the first fight was unreal. It's what you'd expect from an undisputed heavyweight world title, but I think the second one's going to bring the same kind of energy. I think Usyk gets it done in the same kind of manner, takes over second half of the fight, and I think he wins by points.
We've just seen Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois get made as well, and look, you could be in these kind of fights, you know, providing things go right for you. And look, a loss isn't the end of the world either, but I know you focused on that victory. What do you make of that fight? The story of Dubois is incredible, and when you look at Joseph Parker, who's had his setbacks, how do you see that fight, and who do you give the edge to?
They both kind of come from the same kind of past, haven't they? They've kind of had their setbacks, and they've had their resurgence, and they're on the verge of big fights and big paydays, and you know, which is what they should be on the verge of. You know, they've had some big wins under their belt, so it's a good fight. It's a really good fight. I think Dubois might snatch that one, but I think it's going to be a really good close fight. Very good stylistic matchup.
I know you train down south in the UK, but you're a long way from home. You got a message for all your friends, family, and sponsors, people who supported you, because you know it's a hard sport. Have you got a message for all these before fight night?
Yeah, just thank you everyone that supports me and follows me, and sponsors especially. You know, to be able to financially back me, to put myself in positions to be able to chase my dreams. Really, it's a lonely sport as it is, but when you got a good friends, family, sponsorship base behind you, mate, it's unreal. It's the best feeling in the world.
Demsey McKean, we look forward to seeing you do your thing on Saturday night. Appreciate you talking to Boxing Social. Fingers crossed we can catch up after your fight.
Lovely, excellent. Thank you very much.
All the best.